We're joined by members of the East Carolina Club baseball team who just defeated Colorado State by a score of 10-1 to advance to the national title game on Thursday. Floor is open for questions.
Sean, let's start with you. Great outing tonight. You give up that double to the first batter. Second batter, kind of an unlucky single there with that high chopper and the sun getting in Allard's eyes and the run scoring. After that, you just settle things down. Had only 2 more hits through the next 7 innings of work. Talk a little bit about your game plan against the CSU lineup and the stuff you had working out there.
My game plan was just throw strikes and hopefully they get themselves out. And if I get ahead in the count, then I was going to do my best to send them back to the dugout with my curveball.
Sean, great outing today, of course, and it's the 3rd consecutive great outing out of the ECU starters. Can you talk a little bit about Coach Ryan Koopman's impact on the staff this year? He's obviously had you guys very well prepared.
Oh yeah, he motivates us and always giving us good intel throughout the game and before the game and in practice, and he just keeps us going and keeps us on our toes, and he's awesome.
This is for you, Coach Caracci. All day long yesterday, you were very excited about the possibility of facing off against Colorado State, a traditional powerhouse in the NCBA. You guys have come along in the last couple of years and formed your own powerhouse, but you guys have never quite met up. Talk about how special it was tonight to face off with 2 storied programs doing battle here in Paducah.
It was really cool. I mean, I was really almost like a kid. I was giddy. I've been doing this for 10 years now. And when I started, I mean, they were the Colorado State. It's Colorado State. And they were winning all those national championships. And, honestly, when the NCBA staff mentions us in the same sentence as Colorado State, it's really, it feels good. I honestly, during I.O., watching them take I.O. and the amount of respect I have for their program and the things that they've done for club baseball, kind of putting us on the map. I got a little emotional during I.O. and it just kind of was really neat for me personally to see it all kind of come full circle. And they're still real good. They're still, 13 World Series? That's ridiculous. It's awesome. And we were able to just play our game and beat them. It's neat. It's really cool feeling.
Logan, great day to play today. Talk a little bit about the offense, the early innings. You had a couple of double plays going against you, and then you were able to put up ones, but it always felt like there was a bigger inning coming, and CSU was able to find a way out, and then you guys exploded for 3 and 4 there consecutively. What was the attitude offensively, and were you getting frustrated there in the early innings, not being able to break through?
No, sir, not too much. We've really focused in on our approach this year. Coming into the postseason, our goal was to just keep hitting the ball hard, and I felt like I did that today, even when the double play got turned. And not only that, running into the dugout, having my teammates pick me up really meant everything, and that really always gives me the fight to keep going.
Sean, in the pregame interview with your coach, Joe Caracci, he mentioned that he felt like you deserved this opportunity to be on the big stage. What does it mean for you to have your coach say that you deserve to be out there in such a big-time game and put so much faith in you in a big-time game and then to be able to deliver like you did tonight?
Yeah, it's great that he trusts me and he believes in me, and it makes it easier really to go out there and deal and throw as many strikes as I can and then come back in, and he just keeps motivating me, so it just keeps me going. It's great.
Coach, 3 spectacular games so far for the Pirates here at the World Series. Another great, clean defensive game as well. But in this World Series, there hasn't been a lot of adversity on your team. You haven't trailed late in the ball game yet. Do you have any concerns that your team is prepared if that situation were to arise in the national championship game, that they would be able to overcome that adversity?
You're giving me a layup for my shot out. We played in our regional one of the hardest, most trying, tests against Ohio State and Chad Lowe's ball club that I've ever been a part of. Won the game, then didn't win the game on appeal, then had a rain delay and ran ourselves out of an inning, then went down 2, then came back and won the game in the 15th inning. It's something we talked about today. We had a team meeting today, and we talked about, to come to the ballpark expecting to be challenged. And if we're not, then great, But if we are, then we expect to be challenged. On Thursday night, we expect to be challenged. Those are 2 really good teams, and what we do, our mentality is this: if we are challenged and there is adversity, we're going to fall back on our habits. And through practice, we've developed really good habits. So we're confident that when the challenge does come and our backs are against the wall, we're going to be able to not rise to the occasion, but fall back onto our habits.
Coach, you talked about your pitching, your defense, your offense. You seem to have this habit of putting pressure on the other team's defense. 2 errors by A&M, 4 by Illinois, 5 by Colorado State here tonight. Talk about that sort of almost relentless pressure you put on the other team's defense.
Yeah, we steal a lot of bags. I think we talked about that. Ryan and I have talked about that on air, that if there's an opportunity for us to put pressure on a defense or take 90 feet, that's what we're going to do. If it's not there, we're going to try and do it in other ways. When the ball's in play, put pressure on defenses to make throws. We fake steal a lot, which is something that we've always done. That is an underrated way to put pressure on defenses. If you can catch a guy, a shortstop leaning in one direction and then the ball's hit here, it's going to make the play harder for him. We just don't take any pitch for granted. We want to win every pitch and make each pitch a battle and make it as difficult as we possibly can for defenses to make plays. And if we can win that battle, then we feel pretty good about our chances to win the game.
This is for Logan and Sean. Obviously, the last 2 seasons, there's been a lot of disappointment walking away from the World Series. We always talk about it from the perspective of, how does the coach get you guys back and ready and whatnot. But from a player standpoint, there's been some low points there. And having those low points, does that make this high point tonight and the trip to the national championship game on Thursday night even better? And tell me about how you guys were able to rebound from the off seasons so that you could realize your dreams of achieving a national championship, which you'll play for on Thursday night.
Well, I think we just worked harder. We worked every single day. Like I said earlier, really focused in on our approach, something that we really didn't focus on last year as much. And I think it's really given us a good opportunity to lay off pitchers' pitches and really hit the ball hard. And I'm proud of my teammates, and we're not done yet.
And from what Logan was saying, we got a fresh bullpen. Brand new guys, all of them, and they wanted just as much as we were, and we kind of gave them our inspiration. They kept it up with us, so it made it easy to get back here.
Coach, Thursday night, Nevada or Oregon, and why would you rather face off against?
Honestly, we won't watch that game on Thursday, pulling for one team or another. On one hand, you have a really young, talented Nevada group that can really, really hit, and on the other side, you have an Oregon team with a bunch of guys on the field that won a national championship last year. So, pick your poison, really. Something that I've learned as I've grown as a coach. I used to really get into trying to exploit weaknesses of another team. Like, how do we beat Oregon? Where's the weaknesses? What can we do to exploit it? And then we kind of obsess about that portion of the game and not worry about our game. Like I said in the post game, what we'll really try to do, no matter who we play, is just focus on what we've been doing. Catch the ball, throw strikes, and hit the ball hard. Get pitches to hit hard and hit them hard. It's pretty simple. But no, I'm not going to give them any locker room material. Either way, I expect to be challenged, a great deal. And whoever it may be, they should expect to be challenged as well. It's going to be fun.
You guys obviously won back in 2011. It's been 5 years now, and there's a couple of teams now that have racked up, national championships, but they don't have a second one. You would become an elite program with a second one. What would number 2 mean to you?
Obviously that's all that's cool. It's an honor and it's humbling to be in that conversation with Norm at Utah State and Abernathy at Colorado State. But like I mentioned in the post game, for me it has become really much less about our coaching staff, Ben and myself who were there in 11, or the program, and much more about how much these guys deserve it. Like, these guys really, really deserve an opportunity to play for a national championship, and they've earned that. And it would be cool to win one. It'd be cool to drive home, with that trophy. But either way, this man has nothing to hang his head about. Kyle Pratt, Dave Troutman, Tanner Duncan, the list goes on and on. They have brought us to the ultimate goal, which is to have an opportunity to play for a national championship. And baseball's a funny game, We may win 10-1, we may lose 13-3, but we're not going to hold our heads, hang our heads regardless of the result. But for those guys, I know they're going to play really hard. Right? You can play pretty hard on Thursday.
That's right.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Coach, who are you sending to the hill on Thursday?
I don't know. That may depend on the opponent, honestly. We'll either start Tanner or Hatteras. That may depend on the opponent. We'll watch tomorrow and kind of figure it out, and I'll talk to the staff, and Ryan, Ben, and Alex will have and Trey will have a lot of input into that decision. We might just let them wrestle for the ball and see what happens. You pick your poison. They're both going to do a good job.
Since they're both available, does that make the other one available out of the pen, or do you stick with your standard bullpen guys?
They'll both throw on Thursday, no doubt.
Any more questions? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.